It's gone, I think.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Don't scare me like that.
I look for the light now because you got me all freaked out about. I hit the button one time, thought it was recording, and then it was like. I guess it went. Did it?
Oh, it was because the card was full.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Yeah.
And that wasn't your fault. That was my fault because I had did some stuff to the card or whatever, and I messed stuff up. So, you know what? I don't even want to do any major long cold intro stuff on this because we have so much to talk about that we would normally cover in a cold intro that
it's time
let's
to
just
going.
Get to it because it's going to be a bitch fest. All right, hey everybody, this is Chad.
This is Amanda.
And you're listening to Chad and Amanda talk shit about. It's been a couple of weeks since we recorded. It's been 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of shit that's happened. I only have one story that kind of almost halfway ties into one thing that we have, but really this is just going to be a bitch fest of stuff.
I've waited all week for this.
Yeah, she had stuff first and then I had stuff come up. If you see me, like people keep seeing me on camera
Mosquito
reaching.
bites?
Oh my God, I got ate up this past weekend. I sprayed off on, because I went down and did some stuff at my property. But yeah, my legs got ate up pretty bad because I wore shorts instead of long pants because it was a little bit warm. But I sprayed off once. And then I never went back and reapplied because I was down there for probably like 7 hours or so.
Oh,
I should have reapplied. I was just so busy and stuff. I never thought about it. And I didn't feel them then. It wasn't until like the next day, I guess being today, that I really started to feel them. And oh my God, my legs are ate up. Just below my knees, like from my knees to my ankles. That's where all the bites are.
Huh.
But there's probably like 10 to 15 per leg.
You probably have super delicious calves.
Awesome. Very juicy. So your stuff kind of happened first. Because that's part of the reason really why I think we didn't record last week is because you were gone.
Yeah, no, it was because I thought I was supposed to leave Tuesday. Nope, I was gone Monday through Thursday. It was a whole business trip in Minnesota, St. Paul. Right. Which is a shame because I wanted to go to the dang Mall of America.
Oh, you didn't have time for any of that stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had the time to because I'm there without a car. I would have had to catch. They have a sweet train system there too.
Really?
Yeah, it's got like an above ground subway that rolls around. I bet that would have taken me to Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Because you can see Minneapolis from St. Paul, but St. Paul is a nice town. But, and this has never happened to me before. Usually, my husband is laughing his ass off at me because I get to the airport. I don't know what it is. I'll start sweating.
Okay.
It's
just nervousness?
Probably.
Okay.
Or just the stress of getting to the airport on time. And because it takes some time to get. I'm one of those people that thinks if I don't have 2 hours, I'm gonna miss my flight.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, I'm in line. I'm like, I know I'm gonna sweat, underneath my armpits.
I'm totally thinking
I'm not
Mary
sweating
Catherine
right
Gallagher
now,
right now.
So I'm like, I wonder if I should just dab them down. But then I got a suspicious sweat soaked Kleenex or something. I don't know. So
Put
usually
on deodorant,
you go into the electromagnetic. Well,
you'll
whatever.
have to, like an X-ray or something.
That scan where it goes around your.
Okay.
And it's supposed to pick up. I've never
had to go to the airport. I've never flown commercially. I've not done any of that stuff. I've driven everywhere.
Okay, these things are a new thing. These electromagnetic scans.
Okay.
That you raise your hands up over your head and you literally get into a cylinder and it kind of rolls around.
Okay, I can picture what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I said, okay, it picks up areas of density on your body. So I said, okay, I'm about to get felt up. TSA agents will come over and they're like, we have to check, this and this spot on you. And then they'll feel up under my armpit and I'm like, enjoy that sweat. You're they have gloves on. But so that's what I usually do. And Scott has nicknamed me Godzilla Pits.
Okay.
And he's not afraid about yelling it out in the airport. He's good luck, Godzilla Pits. And they're like, what kind of shit are these two up to?
Yeah.
This time it wasn't my armpits at all. I went through in the Indianapolis airport, step to the side. I'm used to it. I'm like, okay, here it comes. They're going to grab my underarm. No, the lady just grabs one boob. and just rubs down it like real unceremoniously. Doesn't give me like a warning that she's
just
going
here,
to...
mirror.
She was just like, nah, I got it. And
oh, you got a bug on you.
almost.
Yeah.
And I guess it was, maybe I had some boob sweat going on. I don't know. I'm not a big boob sweater, but whatever. So whatever. I'm in St. Paul. Then I'm coming on my return flight.
Okay.
I get scanned.
Same deal.
High density. Here we go. The TSA agent that waves me aside says, I'm going to need to touch you in a sensitive area.
At least she warned you.
Is this going to be okay? Yeah, they handled it so differently. I don't think there's protocol for boob touching in TSA. Yeah. She said, all right, is that going to be okay with you? I'm like, what if I said no? Like, what would happen? I don't know.
Right.
I'm not chancing that. So I was like, go ahead. So she like goes down both of them. Goes under both of them.
A little more thorough.
Goes up the crack.
God dang.
And then she's like, all right, now that I've touched you, put your hands out. And then she grabs a little strip. It almost looks like a Band-Aid. And she does a line up both of my palms, like crossways. No, lengthwise. And then she goes crossways a couple of times, too. Across my palms. And then she does it to the other hand. Then she does it to her gloves. And I was like, what the fuck? It would look like some kind of weird ritual she was doing. When she was like, with the same strip that kind of looked like a Band-Aid. It kind of looked like an alcohol swab, too. Like cross between a Band-Aid and an alcohol swab. So she does all that. Then she hands it to another TSA agent. He does, I don't know what with it. I'm trying not to like, you try not to be too shifty. When you're But I was like, what was that? But I didn't ask.
Yeah.
Because... I don't know. So I got home and I asked Scott, what was that? He's like, they wanted to see if you were like sweating coke or, with that like density thing. If you had been like hiding something in your boobs,
gotcha.
Or if it was like some kind of chemically thing or drugs. He's like, I'm not entirely sure, but he's like, yeah, I've had that happen to me too at the airport.
Huh.
This was my first time doing that.
Wow.
Yeah.
These aren't real boobs. They're just like drug smuggling.
Yeah, they're like high density kilos.
Wow.
So it was a weird, and then I don't even know how to approach this because on one hand flying is awful now because they've made the seats like inhuman.
Like inhumanly small?
Yeah, they've made them. I can fit in a seat.
Okay. But
the average size of an American is more than what the seat is now. I'll wager. So flight, I'm like I am dead last to board.
I'm curious. Now, is this like flying coach
specifically? Yes, this is Southwest where everything's coach too.
Gotcha, okay.
So I'm in there and I get the last seat on the plane. The last one. And of course it's between two big people. One of them I wouldn't even classify as fat. He was just a big dude. Gotcha. And then the other one was a fat lady.
Are we talking like tiny? Like just kind of big and built? Or...
just like wide shoulders.
Just wide shouldered? Okay.
Just a wide dude. Like not really fat. Just a wide dude.
Okay.
Which like, that's fine. There should be a seat that accommodates him. Like there should. And then I got like an honest to God fat lady on the other side of me. And I am like this. Because... they're both kind of like, even though there's an armrest, they're both kind of like under and over it.
Rolling
and
over. Yeah. I know that's kind of an image.
Like the lady's
rolls.
freaking thigh was touching my thigh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is this? Okay. Like, I realize it's not their fault. Like, these seats are awful. I'm not here to fat shame anybody. But at what point do you have to buy 2 tickets?
Yeah.
I don't know. And I spilled my coffee on her. And I didn't mean to. It wasn't me trying to this is revenge for you being fat. It was, I didn't have very good range of motion. I was trying to lean over to get something in my bag and it was like, blah, all over her shoes. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. She didn't even talk to me. She didn't even look at me. She was like, this bitch.
You're right.
So, man, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a rough situation.
I was miserable. She was miserable. I know she had to have been miserable.
I'm sure she was pissed at that point. She just had coffee poured on her.
Well, I think even before that, I think if you're that size and you're flying, flying's always miserable for you.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
And But it kind of becomes my problem when I have to sit next to you. It just does.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even trying to be one of those, like, asshole people. It does become my problem once I sit next to you.
Yeah.
So, it sucks. It sucks that these seats aren't designed for the average American.
Yeah.
Because I could see if they were designed for the average American and you were just, like, the 600-pound man, buy yourself a second seat, you know?
Yeah.
But this lady, she wasn't even, like...
I mean, do these seats have like a little armrest that like folds up and down type of thing?
Yeah. But
so if you were buying two, you could flip that up
yeah.
and then you were taking it. Okay. I mean, I'm wondering if they should, of course it'd be expensive to do and they never do it, but I'm almost wondering if they ought to design two different styles of seats and have certain areas of the plane kind of segregated off for the larger areas. Because you could only do them in so many areas. You have to...
Maybe.
You have to distribute that weight evenly. So that would help.
I know there was somebody proposed a bill, I think in Congress, that would have put in, like, made the airlines stick to a minimum seat size that was more realistic.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Because I know that they're thinking, get more seats in there. It's more money. I see it at work all the time with
that's what they
tanning
did.
salons do stuff. We give them minimum room sizes, and they push it to that. Because you can make the room smaller, you can fit more beds in there.
Oh, there's like so much space that needs to be in for a tanning bed? Like around it?
Like for cooling purposes and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah, because it can get really hot. Like, you don't want the room to be above 80 degrees when the bed's running. Because if the ambient room temperature is 80 degrees, inside the bed where all the components at, it's going to be way, way hotter.
It's going to cook you.
Well, I'm not even talking about cooking you. I'm talking about burning up the parts that makes the bed run.
Oh, God.
Because that stuff generates heat, and it's all, there's all kinds of fans and stuff.
Would it be hotter inside the bed then, too, if it's hotter outside?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It'd be hot, because you're right there at the source of the heat, kind of with the lamp part of it.
But would the air... Okay. But would the room temperature rising make your tanning bed hotter?
Yes, because it would recycle the hot air. So every pass through of air... rather than having cold air in the room and bringing in fresh cold air to cool a hot bed and having some exhaust system to get the hot air out, you're just recycling the hot air. So every pass through that air gets hotter and hotter every time it goes through.
I see. Okay.
So yeah, you don't want that to happen.
I didn't know they had exhaust systems on them.
Yeah, some of them do, not all of them. But,
okay.
If the bed itself doesn't have an exhaust system, you want to have some kind of exhaust in the room, just to help pull that hot air out.
Wow. So, okay.
It just depends on the bed, but that's not what we're here to talk about. But that was a very odd tangent.
No, it was interesting. I'm pretty much done with my tangent.
Yeah.
But
that brings up this particular story, because you had kind of bitched to me.
It was both women too that touched my boobs.
It was both women. Okay. Mm-hmm. Which I figured that would be
yes.
Most cases should be a woman, like both women to women, men to men. Usually, I would think how that would go.
That seems like how it was.
Yeah. What this is the only actual story that I have, and the only reason I grabbed it is I stumbled across it within minutes of you bitching about some of this stuff to me on Facebook.
Well, I was just like, they touched my boob, Chad. They didn't warn me.
So this is TBI4U.online. That's definitely a new one. I think it's supposed to stand for the big idea for you. But this headline says, beware of a TSA agent's request for, in quotes, secondary screening. This 21-year-old woman was taken to a bathroom by a 40-year-old TSA agent and molested. There's really not much to this story other than just this one paragraph. There's like a couple pictures and a paragraph. I'm just going to read the paragraph.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
But it says, a Transportation Security Administration officer has been arrested after police say he molested a female passenger after luring her into a bathroom at LaGuardia Airport. A Port Authority police spokesman said 40-year-old Maxie Oquendo was arrested last night. Prosecutors say Oquendo approached the 21-year-old woman on Tuesday as she was coming off a flight from Salt Lake City and told her she needed to undergo a secondary security screening. Authorities say the woman was brought into a bathroom, told to raise her arms, and was then molested. LaQuinta was arrested on unlawful imprisonment, sexual abuse, and other charges. The TSA says he was also fired. So I would hope so.
That's weird because that's like me. I didn't question that the TSA agent was grabbing my boobs.
Right.
Had it been a dude.
Now, granted, it was it out in a public area though?
Yes, that's the other
that's
thing
the
too.
thing. It's
she
out
just
in public.
Like, whoop.
Yeah.
It went to nowhere to the, and I was like, man, how many women just outright get their boobs grabbed by TSA
and you have
agents?
I would say it's probably for them at this point. I'm sure probably like the first week on the job for them is kind of weird. And then after that, it's like, being a gynecologist, like you've seen that many you've seen that many vaginas, so long as just like, whatever, it's another one.
Yeah.
At this point for her, it's like, it's another boob here. Like, and that's it.
Oh my God.
I don't know, that second lady sounded like she kind of enjoyed it a little bit.
No, the second lady was
just very thorough, just like doing all this.
She was cautious. She seemed like she did not want to do it when she was asking, like, is this okay with you?
Yeah.
I was like, what choice do I have?
That or there had been an
Go
incident.
to a secondary screening room.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because what happens if you say no? Like, you're hiding something.
I wouldn't, like, if a dude, I don't know if it's policy. I'm going to look up the TSA's agent stuff, but I'm going to see if a guy can ever grab your boobs. Like, what if it's an all-male workforce?
Yeah.
That
they
particular shift.
They probably try to get away from that. I'm sure they have enough people on staff that they always make sure there's, like,
a lady standing, man in the scanner.
Yeah.
I'm
sure that's the case. So that was pretty much your trip there and back.
Yeah, that covers the transport.
And then that pretty much leads into my weekend, which was kind of nutty.
Chad, I said this at the last show, but yesterday was his birthday, everybody. So happy birthday, Chad.
Oh,
but he spent it in a really shitty way. He's going to tell you about that.
Yeah, so I know I've talked about it, I'm sure, on this show before. I know I have on the other, but I have about 2.5 acres of land that I own down the road from where I live to eventually build a house on. And when I first got it, my dad brought his tractor up, mowed it, because my little ride lawn mower's not going to cut it for this down there. There's a lot of area, which, it could do the big area, but it's just bigger weeds and brush and stuff like that. Well, we did it early on. When I got it, we might have even mowed it once early this year. But since then, it hasn't really been done. So weeds grew up. And boy, did they grow up.
It's been a real fertile spring.
It's been a very fertile year. There's been a lot of rain and a lot of hot, sunny days back and forth. So that stuff really had a chance to grow up.
It'll be like flood warning, beautiful day. Flood warning, beautiful day.
Right.
It's been weird.
Yeah. So out in the middle of it where all the trees are, it's not as bad. Some parts do grow up. I've sprayed some weed killer out there in some spots, and what I use takes a while to kick in, but when it does, it works because you can tell where I've sprayed because it's down to dirt again and just a few little new sprouts of weeds here and there. But up closer towards the road was not where I was spraying, and it's not covered by trees, so that stuff had free reign to get tall. So you had the first, probably 4 or 5 feet of really low weeds, just like little small, I don't even know what you call them, sticking up. But then you get back a little ways, and it was like the really tall, stalky type things that grew up. And I needed to get done. It's just a matter of finding time to do it, get my dad up here to do it, stuff like that. Yeah,
because he brought his equipment.
Because he has to, he loads his tractor up on a trailer, drives it up, all that stuff. But on Thursday last week, I get a letter from the city basically saying hey, you guys are letting the stuff get out of control. You need to take care of it by Monday's date, meaning today.
Or get fined.
Or you get fined, and it was going to be a minimum of $360 some. And it would go up from there depending on how much they had to do, and then processing fees and stuff like that in the office.
People had paid less fines for crimes.
Yeah.
Intentional crimes.
Right.
Than you for leaving. And then they gave you, 3 days?
I basically got it Thursday, so I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, till... Yeah, it had to be done by today.
Okay, so they give you 3 days.
So I had 3 to 4 days to get it done. Okay, so
that takes some
I call my dad.
Stuff up.
Yeah, So I call my dad immediately. I'm like, hey, can you get this up here? We got some issues, all that. He's like, not a problem. I'll get you taken care of sometime this weekend.
Very nice.
Friday, I look at the weather. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's all supposed to rain. Like, shit.
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't think of that.
Friday, it rains. Saturday, it rains a lot.
Yeah, then it cleared up.
Then it clears up. It rains. It rains a lot like Friday night into Saturday morning. Really, is how it did it. Flood warnings, stuff like that. And then Saturday, probably from 10 o'clock on, it was still nice. It got nice. It got warm and humid and stuff like that. But of course, everything was super wet. Then Sunday comes.
Chad's birthday.
My birthday, and Dad's like, "Okay, we're getting you taken care of today." Like he's like, "Give me some time. Like, give the dew some time to dry out and all that stuff, and I'll be up." It's like, all right, fine. So I'll tell this story before I get back to other stuff that happened on Saturday.
No.
Do what?
Oh, okay.
Okay. And I was going to say, I lost my train of thought. So anyway, so I'm calling down there, like, hey, you might bring a chainsaw up to and stuff like that, because I know there's a big tree branch that's fallen down since the last time I was out here that I can't drag it anywhere. It's huge. It needs a chainsaw to cut it up into several little pieces. So like there was that, and he's been really, and I appreciate it, and I get where he's coming from. He for the longest time, every time I mention something about I need to buy a chainsaw to have for down there, he just goes off. You don't need a chainsaw. You're going to get hurt. All this stuff is like, it's too dangerous. You don't need it. I'll just wait for me to come up. I'll do it. All this stuff.
Oh.
So my mom here, this is yesterday morning, the morning of my birthday. I think
we got you a chainsaw.
No, but she said something about, she's like, so, you're going to take your chainsaw up there. He needs it and all this stuff, or something about, are you going to let him use the chainsaw? Because my dad's hurt his arm, do some stuff I've talked about on the show before. He's still going through physical therapy and stuff. He's not supposed to be lifting stuff on the chainsaw, yeah. Right. She's like, are you going to let him use a chainsaw? He's like, I don't know yet. And all this.
Are you kidding
my
me?
mom goes, well, he's 37 years old now.
Yeah.
How old do you think he needs to be before he's old enough to do it? He's like, I don't know. She goes, well, how old were you whenever you first started using the chainsaw?
He's like 14.
And he's like, well, it's whenever we got this old property that I grew up on before. And she's like, and how old were you then? And he's just like, all right. So anyway, at one point, he's on the tractor, and there's like one spot where there's like a little tree starting to grow in a spot that's like, there was like one of those old farm gate, big swing open gate things. You know what I'm talking about? I don't really know what it's called, but there's a tree starting to grow beside it that's kind of bushy looking and stuff. We need to get it out of there to help clean up this area because he can't mow up that close to it. And he's like, run up here and get the chainsaw and all that stuff, and I'll have you cut this thing down. So with that missing a beat, I'm like, oh, you're going to take the training wheels off now?
Like, I get to use the chainsaw? Is it real?
He's like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, all right. So he went ahead and showed me how to use it initially.
I mean, I can't blame you.
His ears must be burning. It's my mom and dad's calling.
Oh, really?
Actually, it's going to the house phone.
But chainsaws scare the shit out of me.
And he was like, that's deadly. Like, you stay away from that. It's like there's a little lock on it and stuff. So when it's running, there's a little thing you can hit, and it locks the blade from, even when it's sitting idling, sometimes it'll move a little bit. It locks that down.
Oh.
But you have to unlock it again to do it. So I got to cut some stuff up and stuff.
It sounds like my dad when I started driving. He's like, you're basically driving like a 2-ton bullet when I started driving. Like, it was so dire. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
That's funny. Yeah, now they're calling my cell phone.
All right.
I'm just going to let it go.
All right.
I can call them back in a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, I got all my stuff cleaned up. I went down there first initially and picked up as much trash as I could actually see where he was going to be mowing. And then some of the other stuff was just so thick that he would mow over, and then I'd have to go back behind him and pick up the trash. Which I've got like one of those little hand grabber tools, and I was taking that in a trash bag. I filled up probably a trash bag full, like,
of just people like throwing
stuff out their window, and even walking around the property a little bit. Like I did not pick up 2 of the same type of alcohol bottles.
Do people party on your property right now?
They may have been.
Do they have fires on your property?
Because it's not that I've noticed. I mean, I wouldn't mind that they did, because that would mean they're burning some of the stuff that I need to get rid of anyway. But I have a fire pit there, but I'll throw wood in. I throw wood in it to save it for the next time, but I've never come back to it and there be different wood there.
Okay.
So that part's not happening. But yeah, I found like a Midori bottle. I found some kind of like orange cream flavored
you got classy
vodka.
Teenagers party in there.
There was like a couple different types of beer bottles. I can't remember. There was like several different bottles of like there's like an Absolute bottle.
They're so classy.
There was it was like nice liquor type stuff that I'm picking up.
I was drinking like empty, Mad Dog at that age.
Yeah, I got kids banging on the door.
All right.
I say we pause this for just a second. Anyway, so we'll get back. Sorry, everybody. There's going to be kind of like a quick jump cut that just happened there. Probably if you're watching on YouTube, and kind of quick audio jump there on the podcast. We got interrupted by phone calls and kids and all kinds of stuff happening all at once. Kids scared of the dark banging on my door because she got apparently all the lights turned off on her and she was upstairs right by my door. She kind of freaked out there. Kind of lost my train of thought though. Anyway, we basically got the land cleaned up. That was my Sunday.
We're talking about all the various liquor bottles you got.
Oh yeah, all the liquor bottles and stuff. So yeah, it was just all kinds of stuff. But we were down there about like 7 hours or so. Like took a break at one point, came home and ate.
Yeah.
And then went back, finished up.
Just you and your dad?
Just me and my dad all day. But there's like, all kinds of sticks and stuff all over the place. He's like, the only way you're going to get this cleaned up is I'm going to have to get what's called a landscaping rake. And it looks like a giant rake. They make them in like 5, 6, 7, 8 feet lengths and stuff like that. But you hook it up to the back of a tractor. You basically just drive the tractor around, let the thing drag. It's like a rake. And it just starts collecting all the little debris and sticks and all that stuff. And you just kind of leave them in piles and then haul it off or burn it or do whatever with it. So, that's what's going to have to be done really just to ultimately clean a lot of this up. And he's like, I said, can I rent one? He's like, we could, but it's going to be cheaper for you in the long run to just buy it because as much as there is here, you're going to be using it all the time. So you just buy it. He's like, just you can use my tractor whenever you want. Which I don't have anywhere to keep this thing. I'd probably just have to keep it down at his house because his tractor is the one that I'm going to be using anyway to do this. So it's like I might as well just leave it down there with his stuff. But I think my dad may be retiring like this next year anyway. So like I was telling my wife about that and she was kind of grinning. I was like, what's so funny? She's like, I think your dad's looking forward to having a project to do. I don't know if that's really the case or not, but I think he had a good time going and just hauling some of that stuff out.
Heavy machinery type stuff.
But yeah, that was kind of the whole weekend. But like Saturday, I had to go do a walk. Which I didn't have a problem with specifically the walk or the cause. But I will say this, and my wife knows this, other people in my family have known this. Actually, it even ties into a story you were telling me off air a little bit too about baby showers and stuff like that, kind of. Right. So a good way to, one, piss me off, and two, not get me to do what you want me to do, is volunteer me for stuff without talking to me about it or asking me or telling me that I'm going to do something. Okay. Because it goes back, the first instance I can think of a while back was, this is several years ago when my sister was getting ready to have her first kid. My aunt was throwing her a baby shower. And my aunt, I can't remember, I think she just texted me. I felt like I did all this over text, but she basically texted me and told me that I was going to go videotape my sister's baby shower. One,
why does that need to be videotaped?
Yeah, one, I don't know anybody that videotapes that stuff. Two, I don't know why I have to be the one to do it. I was like, no. I was like, no, I'm not. She's like, yeah, I need you to come and do this. I was like, you can borrow my camera. If you really want it recorded, I'll let you borrow my camera.
Fair compromise.
There is no way I'm going to do this. And I don't know that it ever...
make her a DVD after it, all that too?
Yeah, if she wanted that or not. I wouldn't mind doing that. I was like, I'm not going to go sit through a baby shower. I was like, no. Flat out. I was
You're
like,
such a dude.
I was like, no. I was like, I don't care if it is my
we
sister.
We have to sit through these baby showers.
It's like, whatever.
The ladies do.
I had to sit through 2 wedding showers. One down here and one up with her family.
Were men invited to them?
Nope.
Sometimes there's...
Nope.
Oh.
I was the sole dude. I think. From what I remember, yep, I was the sole dude.
Why?
Because I was getting married too.
Who made you show up to your own shower? Your wife?
Yes.
I
for the wedding showers,
Scott,
yep.
Come pick up.
Now for the baby showers,
gifts.
The baby showers, I was there initially to drop her off and maybe set up some tables and chairs. But past that, I left. I came back to pick stuff up and leave.
Yeah. That's what my husband did. He just picked. Yeah. He came with his friend to what we got to haul. It wasn't too much, and I was like, you don't really need to come. He's like, I wanted the leftovers.
Right. So a couple weeks ago, or 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think we were heading up north to my family or to my wife's family's, and she gets a phone call from her sister about doing this. There's like a 5K walk or 5K run and a mile walk thing that CVS was doing, except for American Lung Association, which I have no problem with them at all. But it wasn't I'll talk to him about it and I'll get back to you. Okay, yeah, I'll tell him. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're doing this walk. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so we'll do this walk. Fine.
Would you have done it if you were asked?
If I had been asked, yes, I would have said, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I would have kind of probably bitched about it a little bit.
Yeah, you're
but
like,
I would have,
that sucks. But
I would have ultimately probably done it anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. But it's just the you're doing it thing that bugs me. But here's what really got me. So I think my sister-in-law told my wife to be over at her house at like 8:45 because this thing was going on up in Carmel at like 9:45 in the morning and stuff. So it gives time
Carmel's
to get there.
like 10 miles. No, It's farther from you.
Yeah. They are lighting my phone up. Anyway, so we get over my sister-in-law's house, or actually my wife texts her as we're leaving our house to head over. Like, we're on time. She's like, we're on our way, go have the front door open so we can get in because it's raining.
Yeah.
And she texts back, oh, I just got up. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm going to be pissed if she's serious. Like, she better be joking that she just got up. Because, like, her mom and dad came down, too. I left that part out. They came down the night before. They're going to walk with us.
Sure.
So we get over there. The door's locked. Like, we're banging on the door. Like, let us in. Finally, her mom comes in and unlocks the door. She's like, oh, yeah, Diana just got up. Like, she's still getting ready. I was furious. I was like, you got to be kidding me. This is your shit that you're wanting us to do, and we're ready to go before you are. I was like, that's strike one. Okay. But I wanted a haircut. Like, this last Thursday, like, if I have to, I'll cut my own hair. Mm-hmm. Like, I've got clippers and stuff. I'll just put the little attachment on and I'll go to a certain length and just say, hey, I got all the little scragglies taken care of and whatever. So I was going to do that Thursday before I went out and saw Blair Witch Project. Or not Project, but just the Blair Witch.
Yeah.
My wife's like, no, my sister will do it on Saturday. You'll see her. She'll do it. Okay, fine.
I'll leave it alone.
So when we get there and our sister's getting ready and we're getting ready to go, I was like, hey, when we're done with this and we come back here, can you cut my hair? Oh, yeah, absolutely. No problem. So we're done. We go up there. Of course, it's been raining forever. The ground is saturated with water. Like, you step in the grass and you see the water come up out of the ground and go around your foot. Before we ever get started, at one point I had to run all our jackets back to the car because we brought jackets with us and was packing them because we thought it was going to rain again. Once the sun came out, realized it's not raining. So I go run all that stuff back. I'm just getting back to the group. Here comes my sister-in-law with this big handful of t-shirts. Hey, can you take all these back? All right, fine. So I take all these t-shirts back to my car again. So 2 trips back and forth. By the time we get started, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I've almost done this walk before we started. But the second time I went out there, my socks are wet. Like, I can feel that my socks are wet. So, like, I go in the car, start it up, turn the heater on all the way, pull my shoes off, holding my feet up underneath the vent, trying to dry out a little bit before we start this. So I get back, and by the time I get back, somebody's talking. They're, like, doing reverse auctions on stuff, trying to raise more money and stuff. Right. like a Bobby Knight signed basketball, a couple Andrew Luck signed footballs and stuff like that. I'm like, whatever, I'm not
Which
a sports
are worthless now. Thank you, Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
You terrible thing.
Yeah. So anyway, we do the walk. We get done. When it's done, I guess some people were going, like if you had a certain t-shirt on, you could go to this little bar and they'd give you a free pint of beer or whatever. So my sister-in-law and pretty much all the in-laws were going to go do that.
Like,
she was trying to get my wife to go too, and they were going to go eat and stuff like that. And my wife's like, no, I better not. Like, that's not going to fly over, because we had the kids with us. The kids would throw a fit. She knew the kids would throw a fit.
Throw a fit to sit in a restaurant?
Well, if mommy left without them. Because they couldn't go to the bar.
Oh.
They wouldn't let them into the bar area first. So, like, that pretty much cut the kids out immediately. But it's like, I was tired. They made us put on these extra shirts to show that we were with, like, the CVS group. So, like, I had this shirt on, plus this other shirt. So I'm wearing 2 layers of clothes. I'm burning up. I got wet feet. I'm hungry. Kind of tired. Because it was kind of a rough night the night before. Marcus had been sick a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'm miserable. I'm ready to get home. They can tell I'm ready to get out of there. It's like, we'll see you guys later. You know, we'll meet you back at your house later. Okay. So I come home, wife, I eat. I'm kind of tired because I know I'm going out later that night for Chris's house, which I'm not even going to have time to talk about that now tonight. But I take myself a nap. I get up. My wife and the kids have already gone back over to my sister-in-law's house. So, like, I'm going to go back over there too to get my hair cut before I go out that night. So I get over there and my sister-in-law's laying down on the couch. I was like, hey, can I get my hair cut real quick? Oh, I'm too tired. Like, can I do it later? Like, I'm too tired. I need a nap. I'm like, I don't have time for this. Like, whatever. Like, she ended up at one point, like, the dog started barking and her dad was asleep. She's like, well, I'm going to go put these dogs up in a room so they'll be quiet. I'm going to put them to bed. Like 2 minutes later, she's not back. And I see one of the dogs sitting on the couch. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. She went and laid down and went to sleep herself. I was like, fine, I'm out of here. I left. I came back home and cut my own hair.
Oh.
And then, took a shower.
Cut your hair, cut your lawn.
Cut my hair, cut my lawn. Went and had my birthday party with my friends on Saturday night.
Yep.
And we got pretty tipsy.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. It was a good time. I'm glad you were there. It was fun. It's like us, and you got to meet my friend Brian, who I hadn't seen him since like January 1st. Because that's the only time we ever really see him is New Year's. He's not usually that way, I don't think. I won't say what was going on. He's not usually that way, but I think once you get some alcohol in him, that F-it filter just kind of goes. And I think part of it was...
I imagine if he's going to be a school administrator, he's going to need to blow off some steam once in a while.
Yeah. So I won't say what all was going on, but it was... it wasn't anything bad. It was just some stuff that was said that...
Yeah.
I think... it had me laugh. I am gonna lie. I was laughing, and I think I was laughing because it was so stupid for what was being said, and the fact that him and Chris were going back and forth, back to back, with no real break. That I just got started laughing, and I couldn't stop. Like, I've only been like that one other time, and he had kind of I remember somebody had made mention of it, like back in high school or something like that. We went over to a girl's house, which is actually now Brian's sister-in-law. One of his little sisters come out and was saying something, was being really silly. It was like 10 o'clock on a Friday night. It was bedtime. She was in her pajamas, and she comes out and kept saying something about having to put your headphones on. We have no clue what it meant, but it was so funny coming from her. And I was like, I would say I was literally high on caffeine. Mm-hmm. Like, I went to a gas station, and I swear I had like some big, probably 44 ounce to 64 ounce. It was like a bucket almost of Mountain Dew. So I was just literally high on caffeine, and something got said. I remember starting to laugh and not being able to stop because I was just so giggly.
You, yeah.
That was me, and that's kind of the state I got into that night. And I was like, "You guys,
Chris is a hoot, though.
You have to stop, or else I'm not going to stop laughing."
Yeah,
I had to catch my breath, but it was a good time. I didn't really. I should have kept better track of like how many shots I did. Because I only did one shot of Patron. I only did like one snake bite. There was probably like 2 or 3 shots. There's 2 or 3 shots of the Grey Goose.
Vodka. Just doing the straight vodka.
I was kind of surprised that they.
Stop.
Yeah, that was. I don't know why we didn't mix that with anything, but we went through.
We just thought it was.
We went through over half that bottle.
Oh. Because he kept lining up shots of it. And we're like, pure vodka?
He's a big instigator of like, you're going to do this. Come on. But it's like, he doesn't have to go anywhere. It's his house. So it's like, he doesn't care.
Sure. Yeah. I had to like cut myself off, and then I got on a big water diet after that. So.
Yeah. So, anywho, that was pretty much my weekend. Like, as much kind of shitty stuff that was going on, my Saturday night was really good. Like, I spent it with my friends, and that's really ultimately what I wanted.
Time.
I mean, it was just no kids. I remember my buddy Brian asked me ahead of time. He's like, "Is this, bring your wife, bring your kids?" I was like, "Well, definitely leave your kids at home." I was like, "I don't care if your wife comes or not." It's like, I know mine won't be there because her family just came up. Kind of, I just found out like 2 days before that her family was coming up. So it's like, you can bring your wife if you want, but my wife won't be there
because she'll be my rules.
Yeah. So it was, and I got to have moonshine for the first time. It was like a peach flavored moonshine. It was not what I expected.
That's not what moonshine is.
I don't think it was. I think that was just something else. It tasted like syrup. It
was amazing.
It tasted like if you had a peach fruit cup.
Yes.
And you were drinking the syrup from the cup. That's what this stuff tasted like.
No, you said it didn't taste like alcohol at all.
No.
But I'm gonna have to get the apple pie moonshine that people make. It's not real moonshine, but they do something with it similar to that, where they like sticking like apples and cinnamon sweet stuff in it, and it is so good, just like that. Yeah. So.
Now maybe next time. I know Bree was trying to get whoever her guy is to make some for her. But,
yeah, that would be cool if she can do that. I would buy it off her. That apple pie stuff is amazing.
Yeah. Anywho, that's all I really got to bitch about now. Plus, apparently my phone's blowing up and I need to call people back. So
all right.
I need to wrap this up. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Let us know what you think. If you made it to the end of the video, give us a comment. My wife said no, just to promote my t-shirt. So I saw it on Facebook. What was really funny is I sent you a screenshot of the picture when I was ordering it. It's like, this is my new shirt. And you go, did you ask your wife if you could get that? I was like, hell no, I didn't ask my wife if I could get this. She would have told me no. So I almost need one that says my wife told me not to get this shirt. It'd almost be the same thing.
It would, yeah.
But anyway, if you're listening to us on the actual podcast, go out to iTunes or Google Play or whatever, give us 5 stars, leave us a review. It would help our numbers and stuff like that, help more people see it and enjoy it and all that stuff. So until next time, I'm going to kick it out to the pre-recorded outros. Say bye, Amanda.
Bye, Amanda.
See ya. Bye.